Thank you so much for waiting, and thank you for coming. We were expecting 20 people, and there were 1,000 signups, so bear with us here. Hopefully, this is going to be useful for you. Okay, let's kick it off. Go on, Matt.
That's it, let's kick off. So welcome, my name is Matt Goswell. I'm Senior
I'm
Product
Miguel.
Marketing Manager for Power BI here at Microsoft, and I'm joined by...
Miguel Martinez, Program Manager on the Power BI Desktop team.
So let's give you a little bit of a background about ourselves. So my name is Matt, and we're good friends actually, so we don't just work on it here from an engineering and marketing perspective, we actually socialize outside of work as well, and we share one very common interest, which is music. That's one of our passions. So just a little bit of an overview about myself.
And that's it.
That's
we don't
it.
share anything
else.
else.
Share anything else. That's it, just music. There we go. And so let's get into Power BI Desktop. What is Power BI Desktop? So Power BI Desktop is Microsoft's premier business intelligence authoring tool, which allows you to connect your data anywhere, get your data, bring it into Power BI to perform that, that analysis, that critical analysis and mashup of data where you can visualize your data using all the great visuals that we've got directly in Power BI, as well as from the custom visuals in the marketplace as well. So you've got a plethora of visuals out there that you can tap into. We also support publishing directly from the Power BI desktop application directly to the Power BI service, and then that enables you to collaborate across your entire enterprise or organization using insights available directly through the visualizations. A picture paints 1,000 words, and Power BI Desktop really brings your data to life. And so Power BI Desktop is our free companion tool. It's free. You can download it now. Go to powerbi.com, click download now, and it is free. And the great news is that we update Power BI every month. So every month, Power BI Desktop comes out with some great, rich new features. And actually, what we're going to do today is we're actually going to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up in the November release. So in a week's time, 1 week time, we're going to be launching the next release of Power BI Desktop, which is going to introduce a number of the features that we're showing you here today. So let's get started. So what we're showing here is Power BI Desktop. This is just an image right now. We're going to walk through Power BI Desktop and just level set for everyone in the audience. So if you've used Power BI Desktop a lot, just bear with us. If you're new to Power BI Desktop, this is going to be exciting. So what we're actually showing here is the Power BI Desktop application. Okay, we can see everything in there. But what we're going to do is just take a little journey through the desktop app. So this is the report canvas. This is where you create your insights. And it's very quick to create insights, zero code required. It's all drag and drop, okay? And then what we've got across the top, and we're showing you something new here, so in 1 week time, you're going to see the new Office ribbon coming to Power BI Desktop. So this is a great step forward for that integration and that same capability, regardless of where you're coming from. Whether you're coming from the Office side, or you're coming from business intelligence, you're going to get that same experience, which is awesome. We've also got our visualizations pane here. And so what we're showing here is our visualizations that are directly available in Power BI Desktop out of the box. But also, what we've also got here, I'll just click on this button, and over there, oh, who's going to do it? No. These little 3 ellipses, this is where you can click on and go to the marketplace and download custom visuals. So you can bring in extra visualizations into Power BI Desktop to show and tell and story tell your data in any way that you want to. We've also got our fields pane. The fields pane is once you've connected to your data will appear here like regular tables, like regular columns and fields that you can simply select and drag and drop into Power BI and create these awesome visualizations. We've also got the filters pane here that's slightly hidden at the moment, and we'll go into that, where you can see or apply filters across different pages in your reports or in the single report. So you can tell a story by filtering out visuals based on what you want to show. And then finally, on the left-hand side, we have 3 little icons here. I'm just going to walk over here and just give you a nav. This is the report overview. This is your data overview, where you see your data laid out in like a table. And this is your modeling view, where you can detect the relationships and pull your models together very, very quickly. And the nice thing about Power BI, and we'll show that in a demo, is Power BI is intelligent enough that it will automatically recognize relationships when you import different data sets into Power BI, so you don't have to go through that pain of trying to work out how you mash your data together. Power BI will do this for you. So let's actually take a look at this in action.
Okay. Oh. Too loud. Okay, that's better. Let's go into Power BI Desktop. So this will be the blank canvas view, okay? The first thing we need to do, and again, as an overview, let's bring in some data. So you can see the button here on top is the Get Data button. You will see actually hundreds of data sources. The ones here are the most common ones. In this particular case, let's bring a text CSV file. So this file actually has sales data, date, a bunch of different things that we can get a preview on. once we get the preview, we can decide what we want to do. Do we want to bring this data in as is, or do we want to do some transformations? Let's actually do some transformations. I'm going to click Transform Data. You're gonna get a bigger preview of that. So if I look at it very quickly, I can see there are some problems here. I have my months as columns, and maybe I want to have all of my dates just in one column. I have some blank columns, which I don't want. And also, I can see that the first row of the table is actually not being used as the headers. So the number one thing that I want to do right at the beginning is use this big button up here, use first row as headers, done. Now, keep an eye on this pane. It's actually saving all the steps of everything you're doing. If this data source actually changes, Power BI will remember those steps to refresh the data so you don't have to go and do it all over again. It will do it for you. Now, let's do the couple more transformations. So let's get rid of these columns. So I select them, right-click, remove columns. Another step is saved. And then last but not least, if you're familiar with Excel, how many of you have ever had to unpivot data?
Hands up. Anyone had to unpivot data?
Okay.
I've got a few.
Well, it used to be a pain, but now, if I go to Transform, unpivot columns, voila. You have all of the sales that we have on all of those columns right here, and then the month here. So what I can do now is double-click. Let's say this is month number. This is going to be my actual. And then I'm all done. Let me bring one more data source here so you can see what Power BI can do automatically for you. I'm going to bring an Excel file that has a lot of reference tables. Same as before, you're going to get that preview any moment now. Or not. There it is. You can see that it's listing all the tables. If I click on any of them, I'm going to get the same preview I got before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of those tables. Sorry. Click OK. What Power BI is going to do is going to create a query for each of them, and they're all going to be here. So basically, now I'm done to bring all of the data in. I'm going to click Close and Apply. And the view that Matt showed you before is going to make a little bit more sense because all of those tables are going to appear here, and we can start doing things with it. Let's give it a little bit. Come on. There we go. And let's actually take a look at the other views that Matt mentioned too. So this is the data view, where you can just see it as a table. Or, if you've used Access before, this is going to look very familiar. So remember, did you see me create any relationships between the tables at all? No. Power BI actually did that for you, looking at the columns and the fields, and basically said, hey, this data looks exactly the same. I'm going to create a relationship on top of it. If I hover on those relationships, I can actually double-click on it. I will get an explanation on how that data is being related, which in this case is period. And also, I can make decisions like, I want this to cross-filter both ways. I want this to be a relation one-to-many, many-to-many, you choose. OK. Now, we told you that we're going to show you a bit of what is released next week. The first one is the ribbon. I don't know if you noticed, but it's a new ribbon. The one that we have today actually looks a little bit older than this. The other thing that I'm going to show you is I'm going to go into this one, go into that query view that I showed you before, which has tweets that have been tweeted this week with the hashtag MSIgnite. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that tweet text, and I'm going to do some text analytics. What is actually happening here is that Power BI has the option to connect to cognitive services in Azure, and you, without writing any code, can choose, for example, between detecting the language of the tweet or any text, detect key phrases, or score sentiment. Let's do that one and see what happens. So I'm going to go score sentiment. Because I selected tweet text is there, and most of the tweets are going to be in English, so the score sentiment is a little bit better. I'm going to click OK. And then basically Power BI Desktop is calling cognitive services, and it's giving me a score right there. Not a single line of code, just clicks.
That's it. Instant score sentiment. How easy is that?
And the last thing I'm going to show you, which you might have seen before, we did it at the keynote yesterday, is the new decomposition tree, which is a very classic visualization that used to be used in the past. We are relaunching that in Power BI Desktop with a tweak of AI. What do we mean? So the classical decomposition tree would allow you to split, let's say, total spend in this case, by any of the dimensions that you choose. In this case, let's say site. So Power BI is going to go and visualize all of the sites that I have and split the total spend between all of them. What AI embedded in this visual can do is that instead of you choosing what you want to split it by, you can just go and say, Power BI, tell me the highest value here. What is the next level of your table of your data that explains all of the costs? Manual sorting, and you can just keep going and going. I can do that all over again and say, give me the high value again. And it tells us that the next level is food and waste. So you can see that a little bit of a classic visual is mixed up with a little bit of intelligence, so you don't have to do the heavy lifting. Power BI tells you about it. Okay, Matt. Let's go back here.
Awesome.
What?
Thank you, Miguel. So let's now share with you 5 easy-to-grasp tips and tricks which you can get up and running quickly. And literally, by the end of this 20-minute theater session, and there's 10 minutes remaining of it, you are going to be enabled to go out and create some great-looking reports, even if you don't think you're a great report author. So let's take a look at tip number 1. So the first is always whiteboard your reports first. Get that logical layout before you commit to design it in Power BI. And there's a reason why we do this. 1, it's a time saver. Absolutely, it's a time saver. By working with your stakeholders and your report consumers, you know that you can create an asset that you know your users are going to use and that they're going to like. So bring them on the journey, whiteboard it out. Make sure that you show your KPIs and your slices at the top so they're easy to navigate, easy to get to. And then put the rest of the detail on the report underneath. Very important that your report is easy to read and easy to understand. And so by whiteboarding the report first, you save a lot of that time by getting everyone on the journey up front and you know exactly what their expectations are. Tip number 2, always use image backgrounds to help sort out your report visuals to make them easier to read. And report backgrounds are very easy to create. You don't need to use a special graphical editing tool or anything like that. In fact, the examples I'm going to show you very shortly is we're actually going to use PowerPoint to create a background and then use that inside Power BI to align our visuals. Sound complicated? Not at all. Let's show you how easy this is. And so first of all, thank you, Miguel. First of all, here we are inside PowerPoint. We've already created the layout for ease of time. And so what we've got is we've got a very simple banner and some boxes with some titles on there. These titles and these boxes are going to be used in our Power BI report. And so now what we can do, as you can see, we just move them around, we put them wherever we need to, we save it out as a JPEG, and then what we do is we can go back to the Power BI report, and that'll be this one.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, wrong one. Sorry.
You have it already?
There we go.
Oh, I'll get it.
Sorry.
There it is.
Customer insight, there we go. And so this is where we're showing the Power BI report, and there's no background on this right now. And so what we're going to do, under the visualizations pane, we can see that we've got some options in our formatting pane here. One of these formatting pane options is page background. Very quickly, I can come down here and choose Add Image. We come up, let's choose the right folder path. I'm going to choose my background image, the one that I just exported. I double click that, and then we can see the background come in. Oh, doesn't quite line up. Guess what? With one click, we can fix this. And so very simply, where we see the image fit, I now choose Fit. Look how easy that was. Now I've managed to take those visuals and align them to a background, which now makes this report easy to read, got a beautiful layout, and now actually a lot of the visuals help tell a story because they're grouped on the report background. Again, how easy was that for us to go and create this? Super easy, literally less than a minute, and now we've got that nice background in the report that helps us deliver that story. So the next tip that we're going to show you is bookmarks and selections. And Miguel's going to drive this one for us. Thanks, Miguel.
Perfect. So think about bookmarks and selections as a way of helping your Power BI report consumers to go through the report. So I'm going to go back to the same report that we were working before, this decomposition tree. And you can see that at the bottom on the lower left corner, I have a couple of buttons. You can assign selection pane behaviors and bookmarks to the buttons themselves. So when people click, something happens in the report that you want them to do. In this particular case, let me show you what this one does. I'm going to click Action, and then you can see that there's an actual Power App embedded in the report. There were visuals before in that section that are gone. What happened with those? Let me show you a little bit behind the scenes what's going on. I'm going to go to the View menu on the ribbon, and then I'm going to ask Power BI to show me the bookmarks pane and the selection pane. You can see that we have all of these little eyes here. Some of those are crossed. That means that whatever I have selected there as non-visual, it will disappear. So let me show you what that means. Let me go back to Analysis. You can see that if I select that little donut chart, it gets selected here. I'm going to click on the little eye, and then it's going to be gone. Then I'm going to select the other visual, click on that eye, and it's going to be gone. And then what I can do is add a bookmark, which we'll call bookmark 10 in this case. And then once I have those buttons, I can assign that action to that button. So in this case, it's called action. I can just go and say bookmark 10. What's going to happen, because I already pre-built these two bookmarks, analysis, which is showing the visuals, and action, showing the Power App, every time I click on those buttons, that's going to happen. So your report consumer doesn't have to know what's going on behind the scenes. You just go, click, and they get the behavior that they want.
That's awesome. That's so easy.
Oh, no. Oh, I lost it. There it is.
Wonderful, thank you. And so, tip number 4, quick measures. Hands up, anyone who uses measures inside existing business applications, familiar with using DAX? Awesome. For the rest of you, this is going to be so easy. And so quick measures allow you to create quick measures without writing a single line of DAX code. And let's show you how easy this is. And which one is it, Miguel?
Blank. That guy.
Blank one?
Yeah, there you go.
And here we are. And so what we're going to do here is go up here and quick measures. So here we see on our right-hand side our data fields. So I'm going to go through this a little bit slowly just so people can see where we are. So I'm here in the field section. This is where our data has been loaded into, and I'm able to select my panes. Now at the moment, I don't have any measures declared in here. So what I'm going to do is, based on my actuals, I'm going to right-click and choose New Quick Measure. Okay? Power BI is then going to ask me, okay, what kind of calculation do you want to create in your measure? Well, for me, I just want to do a very quick average. So I'm going to go average per category. Now, the sum of the actual is actually the totaling, but I actually now want to bring the category in. So for me, that's going to be my business data. So I'm actually going to go down to another one of my tabular objects, and I'm going to bring in my business. Over here, you can see now, the actual average has been created, but look what's happened up here. Power BI has automatically created that DAX for me. I didn't write a single line of code. This is Power BI and that intelligence that Power BI brings to us to enable us to go and reuse assets. And this is DAX. We can copy and paste this in any other BI application where DAX is supported. This is so easy. But the nice thing about this is now is we can just use that measure and add other data measures to it. And as you can see now, very quickly, we've built out an average view across all of our business products, literally in a few clicks, no lines of code. Again, how easy was that? Now, the final tip that we want to share with you, which is tip number 5, creating mobile views for your report users. So in Power BI, it's very easy to create your standard report layout, which is landscape view. But what about your users that are using Power BI on their mobile device? So very quickly now, what we can do is we can go into Power BI and we can show how to create that phone report layout very, very quickly. And so what we see at the top here in our report view is phone layout button. We click on the phone layout and straight away, oh no, we haven't created a phone layout. So let's create a quick one. So again, let's bring in some of our KPIs across the top. I'm just going to drag these in, make it nice and easy. And then let's bring some of the visuals in. So there we go, there's a lovely looking visual over there. Let's bring that one in. And I want to make this one a bit wide across the whole phone view. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And then let's bring another visual in underneath that. And you know what, I'll pull another one in there next to that as well. Done. Look how quick that was for me to create a mobile report view for somebody viewing this on their mobile device. By default, if we didn't have a mobile view, the landscape view would be what your user experiences, which isn't easy to read on a mobile device. By creating that phone view or that mobile view, you have now delivered that insights to your user based on the form factor that they're using. Very quick, very simple, very insightful. Thanks, Miguel. And so, let's wrap up quickly with some recommended resources. And guess what? They are all free, every single one of these. So the first is go to our Power BI page, www.powerbi.com. Here you can download desktop for free and get access to the plethora of information that we've got there, including documentations, tutorials, samples, partner information. Everything is available on powerbi.com. The next thing is our Power BI documentation. Again, you can link to the Power BI documentation from powerbi.com or go straight to the documentation URL docs.microsoft.com. A great library of information up there. I recommend everyone go to our docs pages. We update them regularly and give that guidance to our customers and to our partners. Power BI tips. It's a free site where you can go and get latest tips and tricks around Power BI, external to Microsoft, but a very, very powerful site. And we have a lot of our customers going here to get this information. Guy in a Cube, delivered by a Power BI CAT team, specifically Adam Saxton and Patrick LeBlanc, delivering basically courses, insights, and enabling our users and our customers to be able to get up and running very, very quickly on Power BI. And the final resource that we're going to share is our Power BI YouTube channel. Our Power BI YouTube channel is very well subscribed. I urge everyone to subscribe to it. The reason being is we launch videos here all the time where you can walk through different tutorials, get insights on different customers, different features. Everything that you want will be available in all of these resources that we're sharing with you here. So hopefully you've enjoyed what we've shown you today. Just want to say a big thank you very much for your time. And if you've got any questions, feel free to come up and ask us now. But thanks a lot for your time and enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.